I went camping alone because I needed the silence. No reception, no people, just the forest, a tent, and a silence so thick it pressed against my ears. I chose a remote part of the national park, far from the official trails. The ranger at the entrance warned me. "Don't go off the trails," he said. I did. On the second evening, a fog rolled in, thick, low, crawling between the trees like a living thing. The campfire could barely pierce through it. That was when I caught the scent: damp earth, old wood, and something sour and rotten underneath it all. I followed the smell. A few dozen meters from my tent, there was a clearing that shouldn't have been there. The trees seemed to lean away from its center, as if recoiling. In the middle stood a grave. No headstone, no name, just an old wooden cross, grayed with time, cracked in half. I shouldn't have touched it. I did. The wood was warm. I laughed nervously, telling myself it was from the fire, just my imagination. But as I looked closer, I noticed scratches on the cross, not letters, but tally marks. There were dozens of them. Behind my back, someone exhaled. I turned around. No one. That night, I dreamed that the earth was filling my mouth. I woke up gasping as the walls of the tent pressed inward, as if someone were leaning their entire body weight against them. I screamed and scrambled outside. The forest stood empty, absolutely silent, except for the footsteps. Slow, barefoot, they were walking in a circle. At dawn, I packed my things, trembling and ashamed of my own fear. I told myself it was all a delusion, but when I tried to leave, my compass began to spin wildly, and the path I had come by had vanished. In its place, a narrow track appeared. It led back to the grave. The cross had changed. New marks had been added to the old ones. One was fresh, deep, and set apart from the others. Then I noticed the soil around the grave had been disturbed, as if something underneath was moving, as if something was trying to get out. There was a knock from beneath the earth, 3 slow thuds, and then a voice, dry, broken, almost inhuman. "There is room." I ran. The forest warped. The trees stretched their shadows. Directions disappeared. No matter where I ran, I kept returning to the clearing, to the grave. Each time, there were more tally marks, and the knocking grew louder. When I returned for the 3rd time, the grave was open. There was no body inside, only a hollow, its walls covered in handprints and broken fingernails, as if someone had spent decades trying to claw their way out. At the bottom, something stirred. The voice spoke again, right next to me now, a name for the cross. I understood then. The grave didn't belong to the dead. It was waiting. I don't remember falling in. I only remember the weight of the earth, the smell of rot, and the sound of the cross being set above my head. Warm hands leveling the soil and carving. When tourists found that clearing a few weeks later, they saw a nameless grave, an old wooden cross covered in tally marks, and at the bottom, a freshly carved name.